Hello, listeners. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Vladyslav, who is the founder and CEO of Belkins and Foderly. He's a serial entrepreneur and investor with a decade of experience in building and growing service companies and SaaS startups in the sales and MarTech industries. He is known for his expertise in creating successful businesses, leading teams, and really driving all ventures to the top of their industries. In this episode, we talk a lot about responsibility and what it really means to grow in your career, in a unique career, as a founder, an entrepreneur, and as an executive leader. So I hope you enjoy today's episode as much as I did. What does it truly mean to be a leader? Welcome to The Executive, a podcast that highlights the career journeys, struggles, successes, and day-to-day experiences of leaders. I'm your host, Dr. Benjamin Ritter, bringing over 10 years of experience as a leadership and career coach, L&D consultant, and healthcare executive. My mission is to guide leaders towards creating a career they can love. Thank you for listening. Now let's hear from the executive. Okay, so Vladyslav, you are a world traveler. You have people all over the world. You yourself are probably going to be moving soon as well. I'm just you've been a leader in many different cities and people that are living in many different cities, and we live in this kind of remote global world. Have you noticed anything different about leadership based on where you are in the world?
So basically, there's a lot of differences in the people, in the cities, and into like soft skills, hard skills, and basically in simple understanding and simple communication. So,
what's something that sticks out to you if someone asked you, what is an important tip, one or two tips that you might give when, meeting someone maybe in another country or hiring them or working in that country for a leader, other than maybe just kind of studying those differences? How do you handle those situations?
So the main advice and tip would be here when you're meeting new people from different locations, from different culture, for yourself, be adaptive and flexible. You need to have this kind of plastic type of flexible type of mindset when you can adapt to different culture, and you should be 100% open, for that. And otherwise you will have a lot of difficulties, even though with speaking. And
it sounds like you're going into situations with an open mindset and a level of curiosity. You're saying, I'm not going to just bust down the door and direct you and tell you what to do, or if something's not working, I'm not going to blame you. I'm going to understand that cultural differences actually can play a role in how I
Yeah, totally. It's all about the communication and putting you in a position that I don't want to offend you in any way. I wanted to understand you better. So just tell me, share with me, and trust in me. That works with hiring, talking, networking, and just meeting people.
Okay, we're on this topic of location, so I'm just going to keep running with it because you yourself have lived in a couple different places, and we even talked about, maybe
Right.
Maybe even changing where we lived in the future. You're going to potentially do that soon. Does it, for your own success, your career, your development as a leader, have you noticed any differences based on where you live and what happens to your career path? Does certain places lead to more success? Can you be successful anywhere? Take me through your own story.
Yeah. So originally I am Ukrainian, and I am from Kiev, Ukraine. So yeah, I have my old childhood in there, have a lot of friends in Kiev, and we started our company in Kiev as well. It's not about the place where you are living and where you're getting your career done or getting your education. It's more about the environment and people that surrounds you. So, for example, before running my own company, I worked in a company called it's a product company called IO Technologies. They provide analytic solutions for news and media companies, for publishers, basically for Washington Post, New York Times, and all those media holdings like Axel Springer, Condé Nast, and others, basically. And we back then, it was 10 years ago, we had such a great team. So basically, back then I had no experience at all. I started as a guy who just researching for the data, like getting like, market trends reports, searching for the leads, helping sales and marketing teams to perform better, and basically supply them with all the required data to close more and more deals. And I'm starting to progress in that work, not because I'm like living in Kiev or I'm like the unique person in a way. I'm just willing to listen, adapt, and grow in this environment. And the people that back then surrounds me show me great example. And I'm just starting to learn, starting to progress with my career path. 6 months later, after I started to managing other researcher, and after a while, I had like 50 people, like 10, 25, 30, and eventually 50 people in my department, and I was kind of go under the title head of research at the company, and we work with the high volumes of data. A bit later, with my curiosity, I always like strive to like getting like more get more knowledge and learn more. And basically, I think it came from my ambitions to like just not stay in the same place or in the same moment. I just getting more progress, more growth, and like getting this momentum. And I'm starting to work more closer with CTO, Chief Technology Officer, and CEO, Chief Executive Officer, and they involved me in different things. And eventually, I led the like R&D department with no experience in development, by the way. And this is all because I always, on each and every like task, KPI, like objective, I always approach it with, okay, I will do it. I don't have the right experience for that and the right skills for that. I always approach it with like positivity or stupidity, I think. And it was kind of really important work to do, like talk to investors, came up with the go-to-market strategy, find out the way where our product need to grow and everything. And I'm just starting to like approach this with, okay, I will do it, give me more on my plate. And there's now a lot on my plate right now. And I'm starting to figure out how I can achieve those results from those kind of tasks that I'm working on a daily basis. And that's weird. And I'm call it like my street MBA. Like I really have no experience before, like business experience, business education, was managing people, I don't know, like business communication and everything. But approaching this with only curiosity and with no fear to fail. I always go with the flow, like how I feel it. And in most of the cases, like maybe 80% of the success cases driven by no fear to fail and by my ambition to understand how it works. And simply saying, going with the flow, going with the flow and my feelings with each and every objection, I was kind of successful with it. But it feels weird, like when you have no experience and people ask you to do things that you never have experience to do so, that feels weird, but interesting, but puts a lot of pressure.
Yeah. And I want to get into kind of now what you're doing, but back then, it sounds like success came because you said yes, you were optimistic and positive, and despite feeling afraid of not knowing how to do something, you made it work and you did it. You basically, what you did was you made the executives successful. Like you made the company successful because you found
Right.
solutions instead of problems.
Yeah.
But at the same time, and that led you to today, which you're incredibly successful career, founder,
Hmm.
CEO, etc.
Correct.
We'll get into that, but and you kind of see this with like a lot of like successful leaders, so they go, that was really hard,
Oh
and
yeah, that was really
that's
hard.
why yeah, really hard. But it's also what led you to today. So like, was it when people are listening right now and they're wondering what to do with their careers, like, should I take this extra stress? Should I put the extra hours in? Should I do things that I don't know how to do? And if it leads them to this, to like maybe where you are, is it, was it worth it? And what do people do in those situations when there is extra stress, but that stress may lead to success?
100%. So I'm 28 years old right now, and I started my career path with my own venture 7 years ago. We will have a birthday of our company next month. So I would say that stress, it's like wrong thing to say, but stress is have positive impact to our growth. Like I think it's came from our ancestors, how they approach to survivability like a million years ago, and they always were under stress. Like you need to find food, you need to find shelter, you need to find I don't know, warm place to sleep because you will freeze out to like eventually to the death and everything. And stress, in a way, it's tool that you need to adopt, and you probably like 100% you need to have full control of it, because this is shortcut to burnout if you will not manage stress successfully. And stress environment it's not always right thing to be in, but it really depends on your ambition. For example, if you are starting your career, you have no experience, most of the companies out there will rate you in a way depending on how initiative you are, how humble you are, and how you approach problems. Because there's a lot of problems in businesses and day-to-day life, and as long as you're taking responsibility, this is another key to growth. I'm responsible for what I'm doing right now. I'm responsible for all the like work I'm committed to do, and that's it. Again, that's super simple, but from my experience and years of building different companies, helping other founders and CEOs, I think that the responsibility is the core. If you wanted to have more, if you wanted to grow, if you wanted to have more money, if you wanted to have more expertise or more experience or grow with your career ladder. But most of the cases, you will end up that you need to take more responsibility or less. You need to take more stress or less. To wrap up this, responsibility is your great tool to managing your life, not just the career path, but your personal life. And stress is the side tool that you can adopt and control in order to get to the right place or to fulfill your ambition.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like there are going to be, I'm going to use the word, I don't really like the word, but there are going to be sacrifices, and I think the better word is choices for you in your career, and you're going to sometimes have to take more responsibility and have to deal with more stress
a lot of choices.
depending on what your goals are. So when we jumped on the call today, when we were saying hi, you mentioned how there's a lot of people needing stuff from you right now. That sounds like a lot of responsibility. I want to hear more about this concept of like responsibility as a tool, or tell me, like, let's keep going with this idea because I think it's really interesting.
We currently have more than 400 people worldwide, like in all of our projects. So that's 15 products and services, like me, obviously Belkins. This is the company that we start with. And only Belkins itself have 300 great talents, people that like basically right now everywhere in each and every country, we do have like 5-10 people, which is really cool. And how we grow so far and why we adopt responsibility, I guess it's the culture code that we put through. Like me personally, I put this from every beginning, the foundation of the company, the culture of growth. So I basically how I came up with the idea with Balkans and how it went with this great culture and great people right now. So this is that experience that I told you about being the head of R&D in the previous company. It was super stressful environment, and the only thing that I wanted when I had a thought that I wanted to build a company, I want to have opposite to that, like opposite to stressful environment, and see how it will work, how it will like impact the entire growth from every beginning. And that's I think that's the one of the things that people learning in business schools. But when you are starting your company, you basically putting those qualities for a culture that you feel for yourself, like that you feel good for yourself. Like for example, I want everyone in my company be honest. I wanted to like everyone be passionate about growth. I wanted like people be humble in what they're doing, or we wanted to have clear communication and everything. And you just summarizing your character and you putting part of your character into business in the foundation, and this foundation starting to grow like basically like a plant when you're like investing your time, investing your money, reinvesting your money, and you building this tree. And with the foundation that you put basically from your character, and we always putting our good traits like from our personalities into something we're building or something we wanted to grow or something we wanted to create, which is really a good thing and really bright experience, I would say, how we're approaching to building. And I put this kind of qualities into foundation of the company, and responsibility, to be honest with you, were on the second place, was on the second place. But on the first place, we prefer to put growth. So we have this motto of on our wall in the main office: uncompromised growth all the way to the top, meaning that no one can stop you to fulfill your ambition. You will grow as a person. You will get eventually to your goals, and the Balkans will help you no matter what it takes. And I'm always, when I started to hire first people in Balkans, I will always tell them that, listen, as the CEO, I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm really wanting you to focus on yourself, on your growth, on your goals, and tell me how I can contribute to this. Because this is eventually most important thing, why we are doing like any career, any jobs, anything in our lives. So what you wanted to get and how I can contribute to this, how Balkans can contribute to this. Because obviously, if you will like do your job, we will grow metrics, the company grows, whatever. But the crucial thing about growth is to fulfilling person's ambition rather than like from the company perspective, rather than the company grows. Because when all those people understanding and feeling that they trust in you and they trust in people that surrounds them, and they know that those people that surrounds them, CEO, founders, co-founders, partners, really care about what do you want to achieve, how you can achieve your growth, your ambitions, your like milestones. It's the main fuel for growing a company. If you will like have right now we have 300 people in Balkans. We have 300 people that always sharing, always helping one another, and always know that this person wanted to grow, I don't know, be the founder, for example. And the environment will help this person to be a founder. Great companies built by great people, not by great CEO or great founder, by great people. And I'm the guy who always highlighting this to the team that we are doing this all together. All the awards that we're getting, this is the result of team effort, not my effort or my partner's Michael effort. It's the team result, not individual result. And jumping to the responsibility. So responsibility is taking a huge part in this, because you basically should be responsible in this environment for your future, for your ambitions, for your growth. And you take this responsibility really serious when it takes to like doing your job. When you like basically understanding that, oh my God, I'm doing like a lot of work. There's 12, 13 calls that I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm feeling like I will burn my ass down. And you just need to be responsible and understand that it's really better you to sleep well and approach the next day with full of energy rather than exhaust yourself to ashes by rushing tons of meetings, tons of work, and basically do all the functions at once. And responsibility is playing a crucial part in this. Like if you are responsible for your future, you understanding that, okay, I need to have my fuel, inner fuel. I need to have my energy. I need to have passion to what I'm doing, because otherwise it would be like, uh, fake energy you're putting to your growth, to your future, fake energy that you're approaching to your life and everything. And yeah, it's, again, that's super simple to say, but responsibility plays crucial part in our life. Not just like from career standpoint, but from the daily life. Like you taking your responsibility for what you want to eat, where you want to live, and what people you like talking to, and what kind of people surrounding you. That's your own responsibility.
Yeah, it sounds like if you are responsible for yourself, but the company takes advantage of that, it's a dangerous situation. If a company is responsible for you, but you don't feel responsible for your work, then the company is like, you're not going to be successful in that company. You might actually seem dishonest. But if a company is responsible for you, so they hire and they let you know we're here to care for you, we're here to help you succeed, and the individual has been hired with the traits of they take responsibility for their work, they care about their career, they're passionate, they're motivated, all of a sudden you have a really good equation for a healthy, successful, productive work environment.
Right, totally.
But how do you hire for that? Or how do you even instill those traits in the people that work for your company?
That's a good question. And I will share my one of the fails that I admitting to do. So I said that we have 400 people, like in general, and in Balkan's biggest company right now, we have 300 people. And for like 120, 130 people, we have no HR at all, no HR or recruitment function, which is kind of ridiculous. How you will manage 130 people without HR or recruiting team, who hiring people, who managing people, like, well-being and everything. And the answer is that myself and my partner, we take this responsibility that we thought that if we will be responsible for the HR and recruiting, we will like always will have best people. We will always care about and know what kind of happening in the company and everything. But that's major fail that I'm admitting to do. So now I understand that the first HR that you need to hire in your company should be like in 30 people, like head count. The second would be at like 70 or 100, and third 150. And you like grow like 50 people per one HR or 70 people per one HR. And to answer your question, basically, I was involved to all those hiring interviews. So I spend my time to talking to people, to evaluate them, to ask different questions. And there's always no like structure for the interview that I'm approaching to those people. I'm always doing just conversation style. Like we're just talking about life, about ambitions, about growth, about function and everything, rather than like tell me about your experience in the best company. What do you want to do like 5 years after and everything. You just being personal, like, being personalized, and you just care about what people you talk to, and basically they care about their time too. And at the beginning, for initial 150 people, it really works well. I'm always, after that many meetings that I had and meeting so many people, I guess I had 20,000, like 15, 20,000 meetings for sure during my life right now. And talking to different people, different nationalities, different functions, just different people. I starting to feel what kind of person is it? Is it responsible? Is it ambitious? Is it ambitious? Is it ambitious person? Are there like growth that person wanted to achieve? And yeah, basically, since you are involved from every beginning to your to your company hiring, you finding people that sharing your traits, sharing your personality, and they wanted to achieve the same. It's hard to put another person to responsible to the hiring from every beginning, because no one understands what the person should have from a soft and hard skill standpoint. But you as a founder, you will feel it. But yeah, never put yourself in a position when you have no HR or recruiting team when you have 100+ people. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, your company requires different things depending on your size. And as a founder, your job is different. Your job, you have other responsibilities. As we're talking about that big word, it's defining what your responsibility is for you and your company at the time that you're in it, and how you can help the company succeed. And so how can you be responsible, and how can they be responsible for you, and keeping that balance. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Anytime.
This has been a wonderful conversation. If our listeners want to learn more about your companies and review kind of more of your career journey, how do they do that?
So they can find me on LinkedIn, connect with me, and also I'm super open to like network, to like answer any questions, to jump in a meeting and like, I don't know, answer your questions, motivate you, share my experience. So just shoot me on LinkedIn. And yeah, happy to connect.
Beautiful. I'll put that link in the show notes. Thank you so much for your time again. This has been a really, hopefully, invigorating conversation for our audience. And maybe they're going to question how they can take more responsibility tomorrow. And maybe some leaders can wonder how they can take more responsibility for their team.
Thank you, Benjamin. I really appreciate talking to you.
Thank you for listening to the Executive Podcast, where we explore what it truly means to be a leader. If you've taken one thing away, make sure to subscribe, share, and most importantly, leave a review. Thanks again, everyone, and see you next time.